Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Mike Roberts, MD of Making Digital Real, and he shows business owners and sales professionals how to make more money through digital platforms, LinkedIn, AI, and automation. And he's also known as the LinkedIn lead generator. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thanks, AJ. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Really good, thanks. Yeah, good to be here. I've been listening to a few of your recent podcasts and they've been excellent. So well done on a very, very good series.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it is good that people like you who are part of this whole digital environment are liking this sort of thing, because the whole effort is not to make something very shiny, but the effort is to make something more useful, like you provide value to your clients. And
Yeah,
in terms of bringing real sales through digital, and not making things just shiny, but actually bringing them value in their lives, in their sales efforts. So to understand, so let's come to the topic, how we can win sales with digital, with your expertise. So to understand this whole shift that is happening in on the digital front, and a lot of connections are happening on the digital side, including all the digital platforms. How does this future look to be shaping up in terms of sales in companies, in smaller companies, bigger companies? Because why I ask this question, Robert, is that Mike, is that a lot of professionals are now connecting online and they are trying to make sales online. So will the sales professionals, as we see in our daily lives, will they vanish, and a new breed of professionals will come in who will only operate digitally? Help us understand this trend that is unfolding for all of us.
So the best way for me to answer that is the way that sales is happening right now, the way that sales is evolving. I think it's a really exciting time for people either just entering their careers as salespeople, even marketing professionals, but sales in particular, because throughout the last century, sales has always been a very structured approach in terms of you show up, you pitch, you drive up and down the country, you leave, you chase, they ghost you, and things like that. And I started my sales career in 2002. I left college, I went into sales, and I'm still in sales, right? I still work for a large software company that provides email encryption and e-signature. So I do walk my talk. Everything that I preach, I actually do in my daily life. But I was finding that in all the jobs that I've had in the past, the sales management has always been the same. Very much a case of wear a suit, pitch, do it this way, talk this way. In other words, don't be authentic. And I think it was in 2015 when I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way of doing this. So way before Zoom became a thing, I was doing go-to meetings, and I was thinking, why do I need to spend 6 hours driving just to speak to a decision maker, to pitch, leave, chase a bit more, and then cross it off the prospect list? And I just thought, there's got to be a way that I can be in control here rather than the decision makers all the time. Because at the end of the day, we're the people that have got a solution to their problem. So why is it that we are always on the back foot? So I started learning things like video calls, go-to meeting, sending messages through video, the medium of video, rather than just an email, and thinking about all these little psychological conversion boosters that can basically get me in front of that decision maker quickly, have authority, be authentically me, and just get that sale closed quickly without me having to spend hours and hours doing it the old-fashioned way. And I think now that people are catching on to this new world of sales and being able to do 10 meetings a day all over the world if they want to, I think the opportunity has never been so exciting. And I just wish that all of this had been around 20 years ago when I first started sales. I think things would have been very different, you know?
Right. Right, Mike. You brought a very interesting point here that we provide solutions to the problems of these entrepreneurs or whoever you want to make the sale to. And it is that you have to change them, and they you struggle with all the gatekeepers, and then you struggle to reach the decision maker, and then you struggle to make the right pitch to them, and then finally to the sale. It may happen, it may not happen. And then you also talked about authenticity. So you said that in the present times, while doing this, all this chase and pitching for sales, you always it is not the case of being authentic, and it's always sometimes it gets too much focused on sale. So how do I, as a person who is not into sales and looking at this whole market, understand that is digital more authentic? If real is not authentic, if real salespeople are talking to me in person, how is it coming? How is this whole concept shaping up when we try to embrace digital also as authentic, and perhaps sometimes more authentic, not only in sales but also in other areas when we will have to deal more in the coming days? And especially in sales, obviously it is about you bringing out money out of your pocket, so you want to be sure that not only the person but the companies or products that he is bringing to you, the companies that he represent to you, are also authentic the way they are being presented to you. Many a times they may present a bigger picture, whereas the picture may not be as bright. Many a time the companies may not exist in the format that it is. So how do I, as a simple consumer, determine this whole or look at this whole scenario going forward? I know you are very passionate about sales, and you look at this whole scenario from a digital point of view very, very clearly. Help us share that clarity with us too, so that we become a partner in this whole process that is going forward.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just say that I'm dealing with somebody halfway across the world. And we're looking at putting a package together for email encryption and electronic signatures, which is my day job. Okay. So we have an Outlook plugin. The problem that we have is we have giant competitors like DocuSign and Adobe. We can't match their marketing budgets. Okay. So the way that I do it is I mix a little bit of authenticity and what I call rehumanization into the mix. So as soon as they get in touch with me, or as soon as I get in touch with them, let's say, the first thing that I'm going to say is, let's just say it's a warm lead. Maybe they've got in touch because they're interested in finding out more. I'm going to do something different to everyone else. I'm just going to ask them if I can send them a very quick 90-second video to introduce myself properly, because at the moment, all they know me as is either a strange voice down the phone line or black text on a white background. That's the only thing I am to them at the moment. Maybe they've looked on my LinkedIn profile. Great. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that throughout the sales process, they're dealing with me. Okay. So I'm going to record that 90-second video, and I'm going to say, AJ, thanks so much for getting in touch. Look, we've not really met each other. Let me just give you a very quick introduction of who I am. This is the types of client that I've worked with. This is who I've helped. This is why I do what I do. And whilst I'm here, you might not be the person who wants to be pitched at. So let me just give you a quick 60-second demo of the software that we provide, so that I can show you how this might work with your organization. You know, because I will have just done a quick background check on who they are and why they might need our solution. So suddenly, I'm 80% ahead of the curve. They've almost met me. They can see the passion that I'm talking about. They can hear me. They can understand me. Place that next to a couple of cold emails or very forward-based, you know, are you the decision maker type emails. That's just going to put them off. So as soon as I put that mix of mic, rehumanization, and authenticity into it, along with an award-winning LinkedIn profile with all of the right conversion boosters in place, you're far ahead of the game. And that's what I teach people to do, is just be yourself and get into their mindset instantly and get them to be comfortable with you, which is so easy to do. It's actually easier than being a cold, hard salesperson.
Right, right, Mike. So does this work the same way even for B2B sales? Because there will already be several times an existing relationship. So how do you as a salesperson, with the change in technology, with a lot of things have this entering this automation, a lot of automation happening, how do you take the sales process from the starting level to the second level to the third level to the final sale, especially in B2B? Because why I'm asking this is about small businesses, small startups, freelancers, consultants. They have a small firm, but they don't know how to make that inroad into B2B sales. Again, it comes down to dealing with the people mostly online. They don't have a team to represent them on the ground and meet, say, the marketing head, marketing man, even the marketing manager. It becomes difficult. So
Yeah.
what are the tools available for a startup, for a small business in today's time, to reach to the people even in terms of a slightly larger firms? Because nobody knows me in that manner. I have a LinkedIn profile that is there. One can optimize it, but then still, how do I get into that big league of making those big sales? How does it work? You talk about LinkedIn, optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Is that the only tool, if I may say, or a platform you can say, or are there other ways that one can go, one has access to these things that they can use for?
So there's loads of tools out there, okay? And depending on who I'm talking to, we can do a mix and match of different tools and possibly throw in some automation as well. So in my world, I want to wake up on a morning and I want to feed my lead generation engine. So it's a
Okay.
mixture of emails, LinkedIn, a little bit of AI and things like that. And it's all thrown into this little funnel, a little batch of data. So that by the end of the day, I've got one or two leads from it and people are interested. But if I was to just go back to basics for a second and just give you a few very simple tips that people can do straight away. So if there's any solopreneurs or small businesses watching this right now and they're thinking, come on, Mike, give me a couple of tips, show me what you're made of type of thing. I can do some simple ones right here. So the first one is you've got your personal profile page and you've got your business page. What a lot of people disregard or don't even know exists is the showcase pages. So that attached to your LinkedIn business page, you can create a product or a service based on what you offer and give it its own page on LinkedIn. Now, the
Okay.
benefit to this is you are creating content, or at least I hope people are creating content. If not, they should be. And in that content, you can do links. Now, LinkedIn don't want you taking people away from their platform. They want to keep them inside of LinkedIn. So business pages are hyperlinks. You can take people straight to your business page. And your showcase pages are hyperlinked. So if I'm talking about our Outlook plugin that provides email encryption software, it's called Mail. I will tag Mail into every single post that I do. So people can click on it and go straight to a dedicated page with a blue button that takes them to a free download or a free trial. So you've got a sales and marketing funnel already built and waiting for you inside of LinkedIn that very few people are using. The second one is, I would say, just just be mindful of all those little secret hidden gems that LinkedIn can offer you that most people don't use. There's about 850 LinkedIn profiles out there with my branding and link to my website on their front pages, people's profile pages. And that is not easy. That's not as weird as it sounds. Basically, it's so simple to do. Every time I work with a client, I ask them to head over to the licenses and certifications piece on
Okay.
their profile page. And I ask them to just say, this is what we've done together. Type in the name of my business. So it might be Making Digital Real. Pop in the URL of my website. Boom. It now shows as a license and certification that this person has worked with Mike Roberts from Making Digital Real. So my logo, my branding is on that person's profile forever now when everyone sees it. So there's free advertising tools out there that just most people don't even realize. And I'll give you one more. So for instance, a lot of people say to me, what should I talk about on LinkedIn? I don't know what to do. I don't want to do selfies of myself. That's not me. Well, it's really, really simple. Every time you work with a client or every time you've had a great conversation with somebody, make your content about them, not yourself. The best posts out there that do so well is when people are talking about someone other than themselves. That's not a sales pitch. So if I've worked with a great wealth management firm recently and they've taken on my email encryption software, Friday afternoon or Friday lunchtime, I'm going to go straight to LinkedIn and say, hey everyone, just wanted to say what a great week it's been. Just wanted to do a massive shout out for some brilliant people who've made it a wonderful week. Thanks to tag the person from this business who you've worked with, what problem you've solved for them. Tag in this person that you might have had a one-to-one with. Tag in AJ. You've just been on a brilliant podcast with this guy. What a great guy he is. You're talking about other people. They're obviously going to engage with it, which means that the post is going to skyrocket and snowball. And those are just three things that most people say, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. And that's 3 of about 75 tips that I give in my power hours to people so that they can just go away and put all of these into practice and think, this is just going to change my whole sales philosophy.
Right, right, Mike. And you also mentioned about video messaging. So, is the whole shift in terms of messaging today has shifted towards video? How do one divide their push in terms of video, text, or even normal, not, in terms of normal emails? Or should we just focus on more of video? How is this shift taking place at the moment? Because LinkedIn, yes, there is a lot of them. Now, images are in demand even on LinkedIn. It looks like even Instagram going back to more images, less of real focus and all that we'll have to see. But how does it look like? Secondly, in terms of sales, if I become too much dependent on these platforms, how do I de-risk myself if I'm building? Because tomorrow, any of these platforms, even if they are very strong, belong to big companies, they may just face a difficult time for whatever reasons. Like Twitter, what's happening when at Twitter. So you don't know what's going to happen next. So, in terms of de-risking, what about my building my own website? How do I do that? And how do I optimize it and ensure that it keeps on running in good health and people recognize me not just by the platform I am on in, or but also in terms of my brand, in terms of my existence on my own platform, that's their own website. Because that is what will be for sure that I'll be on that for a long, long time. How
Yeah.
does this scenario look like to you?
So we'll start with video messaging, right? So video messaging, there's plenty of platforms. I'm just grabbing this. So there's plenty of platforms out there where you can do video messaging. And the best ones, for example, that I use would be BombBomb. There's also Vidyard and places like that. So this is how it would work. So it can be somebody that's made an inquiry with me. It's somebody that I've just connected with on LinkedIn. It could be somebody not on LinkedIn. Maybe I've just got their email address and I really want to make an impact and work with this person. So I'm going to record a 90-second video. 60 to 90 seconds is optimal. And I've got my little whiteboard here, okay? So as soon as I click record, I say, Grant, we haven't spoken before, and then I'll put the whiteboard down and I'll carry on talking. I may even share my screen for a few seconds, depending on the type of video message it is. Now, the beautiful thing about this is as soon as I stop recording, the software that I use, whether it's BombBomb or whoever it is, it instantly turns that into a link that I can paste into email or social media, LinkedIn, for example. And as soon as I paste that link, a nice animated GIF appears in their inbox of the first few seconds of the video that I've recorded. So the reason for the whiteboard, it's not a suspicious looking weird link anymore. It's definitely
Okay.
not a video that I'm sending to thousands of people spamming them. This video was created for Grant, so he
Okay.
knows it's for him. So my conversion rate of opening rates is going way high. There's no chance that Grant is going to skip that. His curiosity is going to get the better of him, and more likely he's going to watch the video. So that's the reason I love video messaging. It gets me into their room, it gets me into their psyche at a time that's right and convenient for them. Next up is what happens inside that area of the video that they're playing. Well, that's when it comes to the website or the landing page that you just mentioned. I've got to take them somewhere. There's got to be a call to action somewhere on this video. I don't take people to a website. I'd rather take them to a landing page. The reason being, a landing page is a static page that has 8 wonderful conversion boosters in there, such as your social proof, your headline, your hero image or video, a sub-headline, and maybe like a Nudgify widget that scrolls all of the reviews that I've had in real time from my Google page. So that's the power of my landing page or website, connected with the video messaging, rehumanizing the whole world of sales, and that 90 seconds that you've taken out of your day could be the make or break of the next biggest deal you've ever done.
Right, right, Mike. And in terms of, I asked about in terms of my own website, how do I make sure that while I am boosting my presence on these online platforms, my own website does not get lost? How do you advise your client, or what do you advise your clients when you are asking them to focus on video as well as on platforms like LinkedIn? Because sometimes for a small business or solopreneur who does not have that much of say time for this, he may just leave his own website behind, and the platform in he is on may suddenly, he may got blocked by there from there because
Mm.
of any reason, and suddenly he'll be without, by the time he takes any action, he might lose that crucial time.
Well, I'm not a website designer or a WordPress specialist or anything like that. All that I do is advise people on what they need on these pages. So whether it's a website or a landing page, just consider your real-time updates. So for instance, Nudgify is an amazing tool that provides a widget on your website or landing page or wherever it is that you want it. And that
Okay.
you can make sure that when people land on your page, they can say, oh, this person's had 32 visitors in the last hour. They can see a few of your recent Google My Business reviews or Trustist reviews or Trustpilot, or whatever it is that you're using. So having all these conversion boosters in place just means that that little section of your digital world is working correctly. And where are you taking them? The call to actions, the social proof. Who have you worked with? What's that magic number of clients that you've worked with? Or what's that magic number of hours that you've spent helping people in your journey? All of these things just is all about the psychology of sales.
Right, right. Let's get understand the AI part of it. Automation we talked about, but how are you suggesting the use of artificial intelligence? Do you mean by writing copies, or do you mean something else beyond? As this whole shift happening towards the use of more AI in businesses, at the same time there is this whole request also by some of these people to halt the development of AI. So what do you suggest to your clients how they should use this AI into the way in say the sales lead generation or making sales better for
Yeah.
themselves?
AI is a big thing at the moment, right? Everybody's talking about Chat GPT, so I might as well focus on that for a few minutes. And what I would say with things like that is you sprinkle a little bit of AI and automation together. Automation and AI can sometimes cross over in different areas. So again, another tip that I give to people is Can you sell to, if I was to ask somebody, could they sell anywhere around the world? And if the answer was yes, then the LinkedIn scheduling tool is now an AI automation tool that's built in. So I could create a post today and have it go out at 2 o'clock in the morning to hit my clients halfway around the world. So we talk about automation and using ways like that so that you don't have
Okay.
to be there. But in terms of ChatGPT, there's right and wrong ways of using these tools. So if I'm creating a piece of content, I need to be having a conversation with this AI tool, such as ChatGPT. I'm not just going to ask it one question. I've got to nurture the sequence so that it gives me the output that I want. So a lot of people say, don't use ChatGPT to create content. It'll know that you've done it. Well, that's fine, but don't do a simple ask one question and copy and paste the answer. I'll give you a quick example. So I would say something like, I'd go on ChatGPT and I'd say, "Hi, my name's Mike. I provide email encryption and e-signature software to law firms in London." And it would say, "Great, thanks, Mike. How can I help you?" And I'll say, "What I'm looking for is I'm looking to create a post that's light-hearted, that needs to be based around why law firms use email encryption and why that they haven't used it in the past. Can you give me 10 reasons why law firms should use email encryption?" And they'll say, "Great. Well, how about these 10 reasons, Mike?" And I'll say, "Wonderful. Give me, emphasize on point 2, point 4, and then end with point 10 with a call to action about an event that I'm creating on the 12th of October that entices people to sign up." So you basically have 6 or 7 conversations with this tool, and then it gives you the golden output, which you can then copy and paste into your own words and make it more Mike, you know? So just showing people how to use these tools properly just changes their whole world.
Wonderful. Well, you have put this part now, very, very nicely and very positively. I have not read it anywhere, whatever I have read till now on Chat GPT. Now we have moved into GPT-4. Let's see how the world goes. But I'm sure, that we'll have to wait for that, how this whole thing pans out. But as of now, you have provided a lot of very good answers about a lot of questions that I have asked for the audience, especially small businesses, freelancers, solopreneurs, and all that. But in terms of knowing more about you, they have to reach to you, get more resources from you, from your website. So, how do people connect with you? Tell us a bit about making digital real, what it does, and who are the people who can connect with your company, especially companies who may want to, engage with you professionally.
Yeah, so I'm more than happy for people to find me and connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search for Mike Roberts. You'll see me there in my everything's in a black t-shirt with me. So you'll see me on there. vault.makingdigitalreal.co.uk is the landing page. There's loads of freebies, downloads, ebooks, and things like that. But what I really love doing is what I call power hours. It's actually more 90 minutes than an hour, but power hour just sounds great. But what I didn't want to do was charge an absolute fortune for big 5-day workshops or, upselling people to online courses and things like that. It's literally spend an hour or two with me. I'll give you as many tips, tricks, and strategies as you can so that you can go away and absolutely make so many more sales using the tips that I've gained over the last 15 years. So makingdigitalreal.co.uk is the website. But by all means, find me, grab some of the free content, and let me know what you think. I'd love to get people's feedback on this.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Very nice talking to you. I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from this discussion and also by engaging with you, visiting your website, your LinkedIn page. It's been a wonderful time discussion, for at least I'm sure of that. For me as well, I've also learned quite a bit from you, especially how to use the prompts nicely in the best manner possible on GPT.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
put that out very, very well. As I said, nothing that I have seen before, read anywhere before. I've read about prompts, but not this way. This has been some good learning even for me. So thank you
Brilliant.
very much for that. On this note, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Thank
Thanks,
you once
AJ.
again. Thank you.
Bye bye.